Peace and Black Power. Welcome to another edition of BABATV Every Time Fire. And I'm always very humbled to be in the presence of our people, especially this icon. Every time I come to Buffalo, I have to bring everybody here. Seville was here to, my Baaba Seville was here to attend a wedding, Brother Shango's wedding. And I had to run here to Buffalo. I said, well, you can't leave Buffalo without, I don't think Seville would have wanted to leave Buffalo without saying a few words. And we didn't just come to talk about Brother Rick James, but I thought it would be a good place to start our reasoning and our talk and paying respect to our brother Rick James, Baaba Seville.
I think it's very important, man, that this brother, man, gets the type of respect he deserves, Bob. At the end of the day, he was a great musician, you know, and a great singer. And being that I'm into singing, you know, I sing myself. I think it was very important for me to come and pay respects to this man. You know, in regards to what lifestyle people say he was living, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, see, everybody want to point the finger, man, at everybody else. Everybody always want to say this person did this, that person did this person did that. At the end of the day, man, we are not perfect entities, man. We all have our little stones or bones in the closet. And a lot of people don't like talking about the bones in the closet. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody that's walking this earth, man, that's perfect, man. We have all done stuff we shouldn't have done. You know what I'm saying? You learn by your mistakes. And this is a brother, you know what I'm saying, who have made some mistakes, but he have did a whole lot of good things through his music. You know what I'm saying? Through his music, man, the message that he gave, man, you know, to different people, man. And I'm not just talking about all black people. He covered a lot of things where a lot of people can actually get stuff out of his music, man. So, you know, I just got to come here today, man, and actually, man, you know what I'm saying, give all, man, to this brother, man, you know what I'm saying, you know, and we need to do this more. You know, we need to start, you know, not waiting till people pass away, man, but we need to start giving people their all when they're breathing. We need to start going to our elders, our mothers, our fathers, sisters, brothers, cousins, give them a hug, man. You know what I'm saying? Hug them. You know what I'm saying? Tell them that you tell them that you love them, man. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us, man, had went through stuff with our parents when we were coming up. Yes, yeah, my father was something else. Whooped my ass. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, you know, I had to forgive him, man, because I don't know what he went through as a child. You know what I'm saying? He could have been abused and they took it out on his children. So at the end of the day, man, mothers and fathers, man, start hugging your sons. Start hugging your daughters, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, and start showing that love, man, that may not have been shown to you. I think that's very important, man. We all got issues, you know what I'm saying, about things that happened to us in the past. But we got to leave the past stuff in the past and deal with the present. You know what I'm saying? We have to do that. And love is one of the most strongest components that I can think about, man, at the end of the day, man. You know what I'm saying? Because people need you. And family members, man, listen. If your brothers and sisters come to you and they need you, man, listen, be there for them, man. Because a lot of brothers and sisters act like they're total strangers when family members come for help or want to talk. You know what I'm saying? And things of that nature, man. Come on, family. You know what I'm saying? We got to start, man, you know what I'm saying, proving that we love and care about one another. Very important, man, for us to do that as a people and as a family. You know what I'm saying? You know, because you got brothers outside that are not even physical brothers and spiritual brothers who have looked out for me. And you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, man, listen, man, I love them so much for that, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, man, for my biological brothers and sisters who have not looked out for me, when I ask them for help, that's on them. But I appreciate the brothers and sisters, man, who be there and when you need some assistance and need some help. I think that's very important, man. Come over here, Shango, man. You know, this is one of the young brothers, man, that I have been around a while, man. We have been through a whole lot of stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? And I love this brother, man. Like a son. Like a son, man. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to know that, man. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is a powerful brother doing a lot of work in Buffalo, man.
That's right.
There you go, my brother. Yeah.
I want to thank Seville for that. You know, I'll be the first to admit it. I got daddy issues. I never had a father. but Baba Seville personified the village, or he personified what the village means. You know, he's a perfect example on what village father will represent. And yeah, so you know, when I decided to make that step, make the move, of course he had to be here as one of my best fathers, you know, not the best man but best fathers. And yeah, so you know, anytime we get together and we have two powerhouses in the house such as Baba and Baba, you know what I mean, we gotta praise, we gotta give all respects due. You know, the work that both of these brothers have been doing for years is remarkable, and these are the brothers that don't need, you know, no awards, you know, to do what they do. They don't need 30 million people, you know what I'm saying, to look at them, to validate the things that they're doing, you know. So this is a monumental day, and just to have, you know, him with Rick James, you know, because, you know, Baba to me is like the conscious Rick James of this movement. If you ever see his outfits, brother got more outfits than Rick James. So, you know, it's just a glorious day. The sun is shining and the elders are looking at, I mean, the ancestors are here looking right at us. So, you know, this is it.
I just wanted, something came to mind, Brother Shango. One of the last albums that he put out, maybe not the last, but close to the last, the album, I believe the name of it was called The Flag, and it was red, black, and green. He had on the had it on the album, and I just recently put up a video. I want to talk a little something about that flag. Not that I'm that qualified, but I just want to give my little 2 cents about a thought that I had about the flag. I put up last night a little piece of Dr. Umar in Jamaica, and he was speaking on the Chinese and Arab East Indian invasion, how they have come there dealing with our people. And in light of those of us who profess the red, black, and green, I had a couple comments that I don't normally pay the comments too much of attention. If it gets to be too crazy, I just delete you. Right. That's all. I'm not gonna argue with you and get down in the slop with you. Phil Valentine said one time, remember, brother, if you get down in the slop with a pig, the only one that's happy is the pig. But a couple of the comments when I put on them, our people were, you know, saying that, you know, over there they love everybody and they beg and they this, they that. Well, look, the same dog that bit them bit you. They could say, we over here still, you still blonde in your hair. You still running around with straight hair, trying to emulate Becky. You still got white folks' names. You have a brother who is trying to build a school and he got to break his neck to ask you for $2, and you supposed to be on the best plantation here in America. So why would, yes, we have differences, but why would you get before the whole goddamn world like we're doing, talking about your people? The brother just said in my car, white folks don't do that. They have, the Irish have their differences with the English, but when it comes to you, they agree unapologetically. So stop and if you don't like it, you may unsubscribe. I don't get paid from YouTube. And I don't mean to be brash. I try to be as humble as I can. I don't like talking at our people. I don't. But certain things that come out your damn mouth, you sound stupid to me. It's like the self-hatred. I can just hear it emanating from you. Like, this is some different people over here. You find every reason not to be able to come together with your people. Well, you know, they're this and they're that. They like white women. So do you. That's true. That's true. Whole bunch of you over here. So why don't make blanket statements? Say some. Because the same goddamn thing can be said about you over here. That's right. Say some. So that I'll end it by saying, and I'm sure Brother Seville's going to want to come in on this. The same dog that bit them bit you. That's right. That's
Facts. That's true.
I think, I understand the brother, man, fully, man, on what he just said, man. Me and Umar have a history. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm not saying we always agreed on everything, man, but I love the brother. He's a young, up and coming brother. He's trying to build a school. At the end of the day, man, you know what I'm saying? He's talking positive. And don't only look at the school factor. This brother has been across the country and across the world spreading knowledge, teaching. You know what I'm saying? Not only dealing with school, he's been giving you information to better your life at the end of the day. So you can knock him and say he's trying to get money, or he's trying to steal from the people, or he ain't never going to build no school. All of that has always been things that black people have done against each other. You know what I'm saying? And he, I ain't seen the brother, me, I'm saying, actually, he said in August that he was going to come into in August and start breaking the ground or whatever. I'm going to wait till August. Right. You know what I'm saying? To see exactly what he does. At the end of the day, I'm not going to pass judgment. And then if he has problems past August, I'm going to give him a little bit more leeway. You know what I'm saying? To see what he's going to do. I'm not going to just spit on him or piss on his grave, you know what I'm saying, after he's gone. No. I'm going to deal with this element right now. That's one of our leaders in the black community teaching. At the end of the day, man, I don't see nobody else building no schools or talking about building a school. You know what I'm saying? Talk about building anything. You can all the scam artists we got in the so-called conscious community stealing money. You know what I'm saying? Talk about them. There's a whole lot of them, man. You know what I'm saying? It's more unrighteous individuals in the so-called conscious community than righteous. You know what I'm saying? Most of the brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying, it's about economics. But don't use your people to get money, you know what I'm saying, and disregard, you know what I'm saying, other individuals trying to get a couple of dollars at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Come on, Shango, come on, take me out.
Well, from a young perspective, it's still a crab in the bucket mentality. You know what I mean? Right now, when you influence money into our situation, then our situation gets sticky. Our situation get complicated. What I do think is that we need to do more constructive criticism than opposed of the hatred criticism that we're doing now. Pretty much we overlook other people who's doing the things that Umar doing because of Umar having the light or the platform that he has. There's a lot of people qualified and who's already been doing what Doc is doing. Not taking anything away from him, but I just don't want the people who've already been doing this work far beyond Dr. Umar to be underlooked, undersupported, or underappreciated, as we often do, when we don't see the work that is being done in the community. But again, though, it's true. When it comes to squabbles, man, historically, white people didn't kill more of themselves than they ever thought about. When they came to us, but they still managed to keep economics within themselves. Right. So we have to really study what it is that they have. To allow themselves to hate each other at that much, but still build a society or build some type of corporation that works for them. So this is just it. Being mindful of what we doing today. Baaba mentioned the red, black, and green flag, and we got to realize that there was a time where this American flag didn't represent us. It didn't speak for us. Betsy Ross so-called sold the American flag, but she had slaves. So, questions is when she stay up late at night sewing flags, this was the slaves that sold the flag. So when we realize that, we realize what Garvey actually gave us. You know what I'm saying?
It was a Jamaican who gave you
that's what I'm talking about. And this is what I'm saying. There's a history with this flag. At the time, there's a brother who made a minstrel show. There's a brother who made a minstrel show that was called Every Coon Look-alike. And of course he went to his death regretting this, because now we share the word coon so loosely, right? Right. Okay, so now after he does Every Coon Look-alike, some white boys come in and make a song called Every Race Have Their Flag But the Coons. talking about black Americans. Now, if you think about it, if you go to all other places in the world, everybody got a flag that represent them. You know what I'm saying? But when you come to the American black man, we see the flag, the same flag that been persecuting us, beating us, and just spitting on us.
Let me just add, because
Okay,
I want
go
to
ahead,
play.
go
I
ahead.
don't usually interrupt, but I want to keep the balance. I'm going to act a fool today. And they say, yeah, some would say, yeah, and Jamaica, that's why he had to leave Jamaica, because they shot. And then when he got over here, see, we dealing with the meiotic balance. It was a light, bright, damn near white, Dig Van Dyke Negro by the name of Du Bois, who called him a black monkey and said, how he gonna come over here and try to teach me something? So don't tell me about what Jamaicans did. What the hell did you do over here? It's the same damn thing. Shut your damn mouth.
Right. No, he's right and exact though. He's right and exact. The level of hatred is still reside within us today. You know, he's right and exact. Du Bois did do that, and coincidentally enough, Du Bois went to his death regretting the moves that he made. When it came to Garvey, Du Bois was ultimately ostracized out of America for the work he did. That's right, and died in Ghana. You know what I'm saying? Regretting stopping Marcus Garvey from getting the tire movement when we went to Libya to get the rubber, Liberia to get the rubber. You know, regretting creating the Boule chapter in New York City that still exists today. That's doing the same things that was done in Garvey movement. You know, so we got to recognize the patterns that's been going on since Garvey and Du Bois. Du Bois was 20 years. No, Du Bois was 20 years Garvey elder. You see what I'm saying? So now when we talk about elder and the young generation, it's the same thing.
Where did he end up dying? Where Marcus Garvey was back?
Never even got to. Never even stepped foot in Africa.
People, man,
that's right.
Explain to them who the Boule is.
Okay,
because a lot
that's
of
right.
might not know who the Boule is.
Okay, well, the Boule Society was created by a black dude named Henry Minton in like 1914. I'm bad with dates, but about 1914. Now, word has it that Henry Minton was a part of the white fraternity called Skull and Bones. Of course, Skull and Bones was one of the first white European secret societies or fraternities, you know, that went on to this back in that day. So what Henry Minton was able to do was to patent a black society off of Skull and Bones in 1914. Now, we're talking about secret societies. We're talking about where you can't just get on the internet and type in Skull and Bones, you know. So one would have to ask, how did Henry Minton know about Skull and Bones in 1914? Well, some say he had to have been the first black member of that Skull and Bones chapter. But anyhow, the Skull and Bones is a non-collegiate institution, meaning like you don't really have to be in college to be a part of Skull and Bones. You just have to have influence within the black community. Al Sharpton, Martin Luther King, Oprah Winfrey, some even say Farrakhan, you know what I'm saying, all have this type of bourgeoisie influence within the black community, right? So now the Boule was created to stop the rising influence of Marcus Garvey movement, which was the UNIA. You know, the UNIA was just gaining members by the hundreds every day, you know. So we had an intellectual side that said that we want to create this institution called the Divine Nine. You know, where we have 9 so-called black people who will govern the politics of black people. The Divine Nine. Wow. Du Bois were one of these so-called Divine Nine. And out of that Divine Nine came the 9 chapters or the 9 fraternal orders within the black collegiates of the Boulets, right? So, you know, it's all rooted in Eurocentric masonry, right? So what they say that we have to protect this secret king, which is the white man, right? Now, one of the best persons to look at this for this information is our rest in peace, our brother Steve Coakley. Steve Coakley, revealed who the Boule were. So that I'm just a student again, paying honors to my elders and ancestors, just a student of Steve Coakley. And you can get more of this on Steve Coakley. But anyhow, the Boule was created to keep the rising of the Black Messiah. If you know the symbol of the Boule, it's a Grecian Sphinx with his palm, over an urn with the circle with the side, the circle with the side, the circle, and word has it is the urn contains who the white people, the black people are sworn to protect. So we still have this today. We still have sellouts. We still have people who will cohabitate with the opposite position. There was a law that's called mandatorious manumission that was on the books, and mandatorious manumission was just saying that if a slave helped us out, we would guarantee his freedom. Okay, so Johann is trying to coerce a uprising, right? And you go and you snitch on Johann. That's mandatorious manumission. You get your freedom, right? So if you in the laboratory and you're developing something, you say, Master, look at what I got, Master. And he takes your invention and it benefits the population of white people, you get your freedom. So this is what mandatorious manumission was. If you snitched on somebody, if you protected the white man, okay? So again, another one of my elders tell a story about the ego, and how this slave had jumped in front of the final blow that was being dealt to the captain of the ego and took the brute end of the force of the machete, got his arm chopped off. Now at this time, white people had to say, look, what do we do with black people who are willing to help us? We can't just treat them bad. We can't just treat them like monkeys. What do we do, right? So mandatorious mission, which was a law. And don't ever come to me and tell me about laws when slavery was a law.
It was.
You know what I'm saying? When you tell me, oh, brother, that's breaking the law. Well, goddamn it, slavery was a law. Your ass, it was a law for your ass not to read.
Now watch this, y'all. Watch this. Now give them this law.
That's right.
All right, this law say that if any black man
That's right.
goes to jail,
That's right.
commits a crime,
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That he is no longer considered a free man,
That's
but
right.
he's a slave.
That's right.
Can you remember where that's at? It's something they call amendments. Or,
Right.
Break that down.
Right. Well, we have the amendments, right? And I think we're called the 14th, 15th Amendment Negroes. You know what I'm saying? And what the amendment said was that you are considered free unless you created a crime, unless you was labeled a criminal, or you was a criminal, right? What have you, right? But if you look at the stereotypes of black people in America, these labels have always been a title to us before birth, right? If we know Margaret Sanger and we know the whole eugenics and the whole abortion industry, we know that they created an atmosphere where white people were looking at black people as criminals, morons, and immoral people who are unable to handle their own affairs, incompetence, right? So this is where sterilization was pushed on people. So we're not just talking about locking millions of people up. We're talking about sterilization. We also have 1 million black kids in these foster homes, thrown away in these group homes, who society don't want. But when they get 18 and 19, they get pushed in society with problems. And we're here to govern the problems while the white man sit back, creating all the problems, saying, look at you problematic Negroes. You see what I'm saying? So more psychological evaluation needs to be done on us before we come and talk about liberation and freedom.
I got to interrupt you, brother.
Just tell the truth.
I got to say this to the people, man. Now, they pushing this gay stuff.
Oh,
all
man,
right,
that's another-
and I listen. I got to say this because see, a lot of people then got fear in their heart, where they pushing this gay stuff, men with men and women with women. This is not something that the creators, you know what I'm saying, actually was manifesting.
That's right.
Man with a woman and a woman with a man, not a man with a man and a woman with a woman. What's going on with this now? This whole concept in reality is called eugenics.
Eugenics, right?
Eugenics is the thought pattern that we need to stop the progress of a race.
That's right.
So we stop a man loving a woman, are they going to reproduce? Of course not.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if we got two women, you know what I'm saying, laying in the bed with each other, can they reproduce? Of course not.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So we have to look at the reality of what's going on in America.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? This is going on in America, and they trying to push us all over the planet.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Making us feel good about a man or a gay woman, you know what I'm saying? Come on.
Normalizing this.
That's crazy. That's madness.
That's right.
That's not real.
That's right. That's right.
I know I did, and I meant to hit a nerve. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day.
What we got to understand is like this is ancient Rome, right? The people who control and the people who govern our communities and our cities are the Romans. They create policies. They create cultures. You know what I'm saying? That all applies to this whole concept of looking. If you look at people like Caligula, who was homosexual in his thinking. If you look at people like Zeus, who were homosexual in his thinking. These are the gods, and these are the people that we pray to. It's interesting. It's interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, and this again though.
Well, we have
And again, this is listen. This is word, and this is
lady asked me a question.
this is a conversation that needs to happen within the black community.
Everybody
you
has
know?
a choice.
That's right.
About,
That's
if
right.
they choose to be gay or
That's
not
right.
gay.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
That's right.
You know, they have a choice.
That's
Now,
right.
let's look at the word choice.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? When you have been taught in the household, when I was coming up, you know what I'm saying, about messing with a man and messing with a woman or the two opposite sexes, we were told in our household that you don't do that. You don't act like that. That's just not normal your activity. Now they have a book, a diagnostic book, where they determine if you have certain sicknesses, and if you are acting like this, you are sick. Now, in the diagnostic book, what is it's called the
DSM.
huh?
It's called the DSM.
The DSM, you know what I'm saying, book where they have these diagnoses in the book. Now, at one time, if a person was acting gay, they were considered sick.
Okay.
And having mental illness.
Okay.
Now, this a couple of years ago, they removed it. They took it out. You know what I'm saying? Because the industry said, nah, well, we're going to push this issue. You can't have that in that book because that means that a whole lot of people are going to be sick. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I feel about choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so my whole thing about bringing it to your attention is I'm not debating. It's not a debate. What it is a right to be living life for your choices. Okay, we're sitting here talking about racism and all that. It's a sickness, is it not? Okay, so I'm saying, why are we sitting here having debates about everything else that we debating about?
Right.
You okay? Does that make sense? I'm ready.
Come on, man. Touch your neck.
I'm ready.
Okay. Well, now,
It's everything.
right.
Everything.
Okay, so now when we talk about mentality, right, we're talking about like culture, right? So we obviously,
Come on.
Let's do Rick.
This is why we
Let's do
did
Rick.
what we did.
Right. Okay. Okay, so now we on this topic, right? And this topic is real sticky when it comes to the black community, because we know that a choice is governed by your lack of understanding of experiences in life, right? So like if you give me a choice to to choose an apple when I never had an apple before, but I had an orange, I would pick the orange all the time because my experiences with this apple doesn't reign supreme. It has no validity, right?
The variety is
right. So what I mean is this, right? We didn't have a choice when we were snatched out from Africa and given names like Jerome, James, Becky. We didn't have a choice when they took your ancestors from Africa and ripped you from your language, right?
Okay.
So you speak English, right? I don't look like an Englishman. I look African, right?
Okay.
So if I recognize this, then I recognize that I have a history that's beyond the language that I speak, right? So when I go back to that history, we call it Sankofa, right? When we go back to that history, right, we find out that the way that we live today wasn't necessarily the way that we lived yesterday, right? So now we got two choices. We can go back to we can go back to the ancestral realm, or we can go back to the elder realm in which were thriving before the white man came and caused confusion.
Okay.
Or we can accept the confusion as today and say we got rights. Okay, but now
What
get
is
this
your
though.
age
Get this though.
How old are you,
No,
sir?
but wait, let me just say this though.
Sir?
Because now the arguments of rights is laid out, right? Now you say we have the right to feel the way we want, right? Now does that mean a pedophile have the same right to feel the way he want? Now it's a feeling. Now see now this is the steps now. Now so now here
There is consequences for your choices, and that,
why
yes, sir.
why though? Why though?
You can choose.
Right.
I can sit here and choose to pop the head, pop.
Right.
Your head
You see?
off your head.
That's right. That's right.
That's my choice.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
But your reaction to my choice
Right.
is your right.
Right.
Your choice.
Right.
So we're gonna keep a cycle going? No, it needs to stop.
Right. No, but again though, when we talking about choices only are governed by what you know, right? So if there's black women in the community that need help, right? But they can't make the choice that they need because they don't know what's out there to help them out. You see what I'm saying?
You have to spread the word. That's why you have to find another person to use it.
But globally, the word is not going to reach everybody, right? So that sister who desperately needs the help, she might not be educated enough to even interpretate what these words mean.
So where are you from?
You know what I'm saying?
Where are you from?
Oh, I'm from here.
Okay, I'm from Arizona.
That's right.
So how do you think the word is going to get to Arizona? Through me.
Right.
Okay? But if you share it, the expansion happens.
Right.
So my whole thing is, how old are you?
I'm 36. Right.
We're in the same age difference.
Bracket. That's right.
This gentleman is probably older than us.
That's right.
Has seen a lot more.
That's more.
But
Most definitely.
he is sharing his knowledge.
That's right.
With you and I.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
So we choose to expand or retain the information and education. So you're talking about that young lady? Go get her.
Right. But we gotta know who she is though, sis.
Come back here for a minute.
Go get it.
Now listen, now you see this specimen of a woman?
Right.
This is what I desire. This is what I need in my life. You know what I'm saying? Not another man.
Tell the truth. 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 Now I remember being in school one time, right? And my brother had this problem, right? Now my brother would have an issue. He might need a pencil or something, right? But he'd never raise his hand. He'd never raise his hand to say, "Teach, I need a pencil." Right. You know what I'm saying? So his problem never got solved. You know, his issue never got heard of because he didn't raise his hand to tell that he need a pencil. And what I mean is, like, a lot of that is within our community. There's people that's hurting, we don't even know. We see.
Yo, Shango.
Go ahead.
Let his brother say something. Man.
Go ahead,
Your Honor. Say something, Your Honor.
Okay, what am I supposed to say?
Say something in French.
Say something, brother.
Yeah.
Like
in
what?
To, our people. What's going on with our people?
That's right.
Yeah, say
I'm
something.
camera
Say
shy.
something. Come on, just say something, brother. Come on now. Say something for real.
Okay.
Use it.
Oh well, There's nothing else I can add on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Tell me where you from.
originally I'm from Cameroon, Central Africa.
Yeah.
All right.
I was going to school in Buffalo, New York, at UB, and then I went to Columbus, Ohio to live.
Right.
Yeah, I've been building with this brother right here, brother Shango. He taught me a lot of knowledge.
All right.
Yeah, he got me into a lot of documentary, a lot of things in that.
Right.
Well,
So let me
Yeah.
ask you this: how do you feel about Black Americans saying that Africans don't love us? Like,
well,
do you see us as the same?
yeah.
As, would you see me as an African
I
just as much as I see you?
I see you as an African, but with an Americanized vibe, yeah, mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot deny.
Right.
But the roots are African, most definitely. You know what I'm saying? Your roots.
So you saying the mentality is what makes the person?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
It's like 50-50 though.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when we saying this is when I say I'm not an African to you, what's your first thought? For those who look like you would say, I'm not an African. What's your first thought?
Identity crisis.
They in the crisis.
Yeah,
Identity crisis.
Yeah.
What do
Yeah.
you think we can do, man, as a people, man, to get out of the state of mind that we're in?
Well, basically, like the little cipher that we be having like that, you know what I'm saying, building with each other, traveling a little bit, you know what I'm saying, reaching out to the masses.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna probably help out, you know what I'm saying.
What
Yeah.
would you teach if you was the teacher in the classroom about Black history or Black people?
I don't know. I would probably teach about economics. Yeah, because like without economics, you can't really move forward. You can't really be attacked. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you see how the Yemeni in Buffalo, you see how they operate. People from Yemen.
Right.
Yeah, they be owning their own corner stores. You know what I'm saying? They are their own folks. They have their own resources that they send back home. You know what I'm saying? You barely see them working for someone else. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of economics I'm thinking
Something
about.
like Wall Street.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Like a Black Wall Street, like the one in Tulsa.
Right.
Yeah,
They have
Oklahoma.
one in North Carolina too.
Yep.
You don't know about that. Yeah. all right.
So yeah, it's good, you know what I'm saying, about talking about Africa and all that, but you know what I'm saying, nowadays we need some economics. Martial arts as well, you know what I'm saying, weapon.
Whatever, learn how to shoot.
Yep, how to defend yourself. So,
I think what the brother did said is very important. I think economics is the key component. You got to teach your children in that household that they need to be owners. They need to own stuff. They need to be bosses of stuff, not being trained on how to work and make somebody else rich. You know what I'm saying? I think it's very important, man, that this is understood, man, because at the end of the day, man, you know what I'm saying, we're going to need money. You know what I'm saying? We're going to need wealth. We're going to need economics in order to survive. And we also better learn how to get some guns, man. I'm sorry, I got to say this. Y'all better learn how to shoot some guns, because let me tell you something. You think it won't be no warfare? It's going to be warfare, man. You know what I'm saying? And then white people, man, are up in them woods busting off them guns, man. And believe me, they got a big round ball, man, with a black face on it that they shooting at. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, man, you know what I'm saying? So learn how to use some guns.
Oh yeah, and I am a certified range instructor. I do got my I got my certification, of course, by the NRA. You know what I'm saying? But you know, some of us be too proud, man. I feel we need to use these crackers as much as we can. You know what I mean? And they provided something for me to take advantage of so I can teach my people. And this is exactly what I did, you know. So what Baba's saying is true. Self-defense is the only offense. You know, it kills me when I hear other people talk about we got a nation, but I ask where the army at and they quiet. You know, you can't hear a mouse pissing on a cotton. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to how do we defend the things that we're talking about gaining, you know, this government that we talking about having, how do we defend it? You know, so this is the dialogue we should be having. You know, once we get the freedom and the liberation and all of the glorification that we claim to get, how the hell we gonna protect it? You know what I'm saying? When we got to buy guns from people like Smith & Wesson. You know what I'm saying? Who makes all the goddamn guns. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We think we going to run up on the government with just 38s. You know what I'm saying? We got to get more. We got to get more. We got to get better than that. You know what I'm saying? It's time for us to start thinking about how we're going to protect these our women and children. You know what I mean? Because they should be the vocal point of everything that we do. Women and children should be the vocal point of everything we do. In America, it's too much masculinity. I'm still waiting for the female Farrakhan. You know, so when she come along, let me know.
Let's give a last word, man. Then I'll go after you.
Well, you know, I just want to say that we have to all remind ourselves to be humble. You know what I'm saying? To be genuine in our path. You know, to understand that, you know, even though if we don't think that people think that we're messing up, we know that we're messing up. You know, we're glorious. We are a glorious people. You know, that can do anything. You know, in fact, it reminded me of a quote from Malcolm X, who said that we are a race of people that have done so much with so little that we are now qualified to do anything with nothing. So we should reach for the moon, because even if we miss, we still be amongst the stars. You know, so in saying that, I want us to think about the best in us and stop always focusing in the differences and the miscellaneous things that we go through on a day-to-day basis. Ashe.
This is something that I do, man, every time I wake up in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do it right now, man, with all the people out there, you know what I'm saying, in this atmosphere. I give thanks to my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother. I give thanks to my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. I give thanks to my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, and all my family members. I give thanks to the masculine and feminine forces who's out there, you know what I'm saying, controlling the energy. I give praise to Malcolm X. I give praise to Sojourner Truth. I give praise to Dr. King. I give praise to Malcolm X. I give praise to Elijah Muhammad. I give praise to Washington George Carver. I give praise to Louis Latimer. I give praise to Queen T. And all these other individuals who have came before me to give me the energy, to give me the insight, to give me the power to manifest truth, no matter who's in my way. I pray to these forces and these ancestors to just guide me, to keep my mind open, to keep my spirit open, to keep everything open, so I will be successful in raising my people from the dead state into the live state. Hotep, Amun Ra. Peace.